So there you are, so comfortable with the new modern world. Everything you need is at your own fingertips. What you need to know is in the internet, and wherever you want to go, you can go by just calling a Grab. How convenient, but unfortunately, we as a generation, we got too complacent. The left has pushed their agenda down our throats to make us believe that masculinity is toxic and never ever be capable of violence. The question posed, is modernity ruining masculinity? Watch to the end because I'll explain what you need to find out. Okay, the first is boys face unique struggles in our current generation, in our culture. We are particularly too concerned about how patriarchy is downgrading or persecuting women. Not only this kind of connotation of patriarchy does not exist in modern countries and cultures, but we also like to see the unique struggles that boys and men face because we don't see them as important enough. And also because men are not that open to talk about their problems. The first unique struggle boys face is that degenerate content is everywhere, alright? From social media to billboards, there are a lot of women shaking their bubanis. It's crazy. Open Twitter comment section, open TikTok. It's flooded with OnlyFans models. We tell these boys to stop being a pervert, but then there's messages all around the world, all around the billboards and porn everywhere telling them to be pervert. What is this? I remember, just going on Twitter and scrolling around, and there's this one good post, and I opened the comment section. There's comment sections, right? And guess what? The comment sections are filled with these OnlyFans models showing off their bubanis. I remember going to shopping malls, and there are half-naked women on the billboards. It's everywhere, man. It's crazy. The richest man ever lived, Mansa Musa, has never ever saw more naked girls than the average 13-year-old today. Think about how crazy is that. Really think about it. Second thing is, our education systems are favoring more girls to boys. Almost everything in the classroom is made for a calm and organized place, right? Which is for girls. Girls focus easier than boys. Girls' brains develop faster than boys. Girls learn and mature faster than boys. This will lead boys to more dropout rates and lower academic performance, also more likely to be suspended. So why do we actually say girls are oppressed, women are oppressed, when they have better education system than us men? They have a huge head start in the early life. ADHD medication is overprescribed. Boys are disproportionately affected by this. You see, the nature about young boys is that they cannot sit in a still manner, just sitting and listening to facts rather than going out and doing hands-on projects. Going to the woods, learning about the nature. Boys needs to be boys. But when they cannot focus in class, we diagnose them with ADHD because he can't simply sit still and always energetic. In other words, just being boys. It's so easy these days to diagnose boy with ADHD when it is his natural instinct is to do hands-on project, to go and do rough activities out in wild. Alright, I remember my uncles and aunties, they were scolding their children because their children was very energetic, climbing here and there, like climbing up the walls and ladders and like the lickers in Resident Evil. I think they call it lickers. They told them to sit down and don't move and be a good boy. I mean, this way of thinking is so narrow-minded. We force them to sit down and listen and punish them if they are energetically active. Because from that on, boys will learn that it's not okay for them to be themselves. They will learn that it's not okay for them to be themselves. Next, masculinity is denigrated and labeled as harmful. The American Psychology Association labeled masculinity as harmful. Harmful, this so-called harmful is what give our society a civilization. We fight in wars. Firefighters help rescue civilians. We have huge buildings all because of masculinity. When masculinity is labeled as harmful, boys and men are not taught to be the man that creates attraction to women. A feminine woman needs a masculine man, and masculine man needs a feminine woman. That's how the sexual energies spectrum work. If one of the end of the spectrum is not polarized, then feminine women will be alone, leaving non-masculine men lost and wandering for their own purpose in life. We need men to be men. If they cannot be a man, then we have to change as a society and encourage men to be masculine. Number 4, there is an overwhelming push to impose gender confusion on children, particularly boys. If you have been updated with the current issues, you will certainly know the woke agendas to impose gender confusion. They'll use drag queens marching, men dressing like women, male models dressing like women. You know, these disgusting dances that I don't even know why people want to watch them. Why do we want our children to see these disgusting dances? Why we want them to see men wearing like girls and women so we can tell them that they can choose their own genders? What is this? Embarrassingly, in the US alone, young boys can castrate themselves because they are brainwashed to believe that they are the opposite sex. They are too young to even decide that. We have reasons. Children cannot buy alcohol, children cannot drive, children cannot smoke weed. But why in the name of castrating their organs we let them? Now, number 5. Labor force competition getting tougher as women are now getting into male-dominating sectors. While this is seen as a good thing for women as they now have more working opportunities, a large number of men, particularly down the economic ladder, in the lower and middle class get a hard time trying to find a job. Can they go into women-dominated sectors? No, unfortunately they cannot because they don't have the skills and the academic education to do so. But can women go into male-dominated sectors? Yes, and that is the problem. Women can go into male and female-dominated sectors, but men cannot go into women-dominated sectors, only in the male-dominated sectors. And what does that mean? It means there's so much demand of workers in the male-dominated sectors. This creates a huge imbalance in the workforce. And for those who talks about the pay gap, there's no such thing as a gender pay gap in 2023 anymore. It's literally none. Men and women are getting paid the same, exactly the same, until women have their own child, their firstborn child, then their pay has gone down. But it's not because their income is less, it's just they want to stay home more. It's due to their natural instincts to stay home as a mother and take care of their child instead of working. So what can we do about it? Now, the idea is not to downgrade women back into extreme patriarchy. That's the question. We shouldn't treat genders as a zero-sum game, which means just because we want to uplift men, we downgrade women. No, that's not what we want, right? Men and women should help each other to perform better, support each other, like yin and yang, feminine and masculine. They go hand in hand to help each other for a better society. Alright, so first of all, education systems needs to be changed, right? It needs to be reworked in a way that boys can learn better and efficiently. Richard V. Reeves, in his book of Boys and Men, he suggests that men needs to have an extra year in preschool so that they will mature more when they actually start schooling. This is just one of the examples, but the crux is education system needs to be reworked. Second, pornography must be banned. Just like prostitution is banned, pornography is just like prostitution, just with cameras on, right? They need to be banned. Third, parents who dresses their boys like girls or girls like boys should be arrested. Also, if they bring their children to drag queens, marching, weird dances, they should be arrested. They should be given a parenting course as they are actually committing child abuse. Fourth, now this is very important, right? The media should start promoting healthy masculinity as a quality trait of a good man, instead of labeling them as harmful or toxic. Promote going to the gym, hunting, fishing, exploring the woods, changing tires, and so on. And let's remember, our goal here is to uplift masculinity, not downgrade women back into oppression. And the both political spectrums are not helping at all. The left wants to diminish masculinity to totally erase masculinity, while the right wants to push back our society into patriarchy, where they don't want women to have any say at all in the governance, in the country, political system. We should strive to leave the bad practices away and uplift both men and women. masculinity and femininity. And until then, subscribe, take care, and be a fucking rock.